Hi y'all! Here for another tag video. Okay, so today we're going to be doing the Get to Know the Fantasy Romance Reader book tag. I will go ahead and tag the original creator down below as always, along with the questions. If you'd like to participate, just go ahead. I don't tag people typically. If you do participate based off of my video though, please tag me because I want to make friends. And I would like to know your answers to this and start a conversation. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. I love doing tag videos because it gives me just a chance to like stream of conscious thought. Question number 1 is, what book got you into fantasy romance for the first time? And I wanted to say Throne of Glass, but I feel like Throne of Glass got me back into like just reading a lot in general. And this was many, many years ago. So I'm not going to say Throne of Glass. Instead, I said Scarlett St. Clair's A Touch of Darkness series, because I feel like starting and binge reading most of that series, and I feel like it was a gateway drug. Ever since then, I have just been like devouring fantasy romance, and pretty much like I can't go wrong with them. So for that reason, I said this was like the first book or series that got me into it. I don't think it's the first one I've read, but it doesn't have to be. It was basically the one that like was so good for me and such a favorite that I started devouring them after that. So question number 2 is, if you could pick one fantasy world to move to for the rest of your life, which world would you move to? Now, I've only read the first book in this series, and that is Neon Gods. But I would move to Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus world, simply because I do actually prefer the world building in that one over Scarlett St. Clair's world. Both are great, but in terms of me living in them for the rest of my life, I think I prefer Katie Roberts. So, yeah. But I would really like to live in like one of the mythology retelling worlds, especially the modern ones, because they're great. I would love that. That would be so cool. Question number 3 is, if I could marry one bookish hero or heroine, who would it be? Now, I was very tempted to try to pick a heroine, but I knew instantly who I was going to pick. And look, we've been over this. We can all have our stands. I said Cassian. Look, if I had to marry anybody, yeah, it tends to be the ones, especially the male protagonists or antagonists, really, the male characters in fantasy romance, that remind me of my own husband in certain ways that I gravitate toward liking the most. So question number 4 is, if you could be one fantasy creature or magical being, who would you be? I just said a goddess. I don't really care from what realm of mythology. I don't even really know who I would be if I was a goddess. If I had my choice, I'd like to be Persephone, but I don't really know if I am a Persephone. You know what I mean? You know how like you could see yourself from your own point of view relating, but then other people might say, no, well, actually you're kind of this person more. So yeah, anyways, if I had my say, I'd be Persephone, but I don't know if I am a Persephone. So I just said a goddess. Question number 5 is, if you could kill one fantasy romance character, who would you off? This one took a little bit because it's very rare that I hate somebody so much that I would like hypothetically want them dead. I usually like, I can hate characters, but I can like kind of see where they're coming from. I ended up settling on the Emperor Solaris from the Era Awakens series because I detest the man. There is like the other guy, is he like a congressman or something? From that same series that I also hate, but he has reasons for doing what he was doing. I guess kind of the Emperor does too. There's certain things about the Emperor that I hate. And poor Aldrich. So yes, spoiler alert. I get what I want. So there's that. But yeah, I hate him enough that I would want him dead. I wanted him dead pretty quickly into the series, like in the first fucking book. So there's that. Question number 6 is, what fantasy romance character do you truly believe would you be your IRL best friend? This one was hard to pick. I'm not gonna lie, because there's part of me that would want to be friends with them, but then there's a part of me that's like, would I? I don't know. That's hard to judge, but the ever-beloved Hermes from Scarlet St. Clair's Touch of Darkness series. Oh my god. I love Hermes. He cracks me the fuck up. He's my favorite, like, kind of rendition of Hermes we've gotten so far, that I've read at least. Yeah, I like the Hermes in Lore Olympus too, but my favorite one is Scarlet St. Clair's. He's just the absolute king of one-liners. And I would say, honestly, I think he's better in Persephone's point of view than he is in Hades, at least from so far what I've read. We don't get as much of him, like literally quantity and quality, in Hades' side, because he's friends with Persephone, so you get a lot more of him in that point of view. Question number 7 is, what would be your fantasy weapon of choice? I just said magic. I feel like this is a pretty clear answer. I wouldn't be one for like actual weapons. I feel like magic is pretty cool. I don't know what type of magic, but something naturey or dark or something like that would be cool. Question number 8 is, who is the sexiest fantasy romance character of all time? This was so hard. Because there's certain things I like about other ones, but so technically I wrote of all time? I don't know. But one of my all-time top favorites was Vane from the Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki St. Croix. Don't judge me, okay? It's a fantasy romance Peter Pan retelling. It's very adult, very smutty, more smut than plot here. I love this series. The newest book actually just came out. I still haven't read it. I haven't read it. But out of all of the Lost Boys, Vane is my favorite because I love a dark, I won't even say grumpy, he's just angry, kind of mean character. I just love it. He's the best one. You fight me. Question number 9 is, pick one fantasy romance book to burn. This was an easy choice for me. That's the Zodiac Academy. I'm not going to say anything more. Throw it in the fucking fire. Question number 10 is, you can choose one fantasy romance book. It's the only book you will ever be able to read again. What is it? This one was really hard. Also, impossible. I actually didn't answer this. I'm not sure. Let me think for a second. Okay, so I figured it out. Yeah, so if I could only read one, this is all hypothetical and I know I'm overthinking it. I spent like 20 minutes thinking about this, trying to figure out what my answer would be. It's just a tag, Erin. It's not that serious. Okay, hypothetically, I would say the Air Awakens series. And this is actually like, I think technically YA, in terms of the age range. It's a fantasy/fantasy romance. I wouldn't even say it's light on the romance, but it's not smutty. It's just romance because it is YA. So there's that, but I fucking adore this series. And if I only had to pick one and read it for the rest of my life, I have the benefit of it being a long series. I have completed it, so I know that I like it a lot, and it is one of my favorites of all time. So we're gonna say the Air Awakens series. Okay, so question number 11 is, if you could recommend one fantasy romance book to a reader that's new to the genre and wanted to try it out, what book would that be? I'd say, in terms of adult, we're gonna go with adult here, because a lot of the time fantasy romance is adult. If you're into YA, Air Awakens. It's very good. It's basically Avatar: The Last Airbender, gender swapped, I guess. So there's that. And if Aang and Zuko were a thing. So there's that. I love it. I love the characters. I can't wait to read. There's a sequel that follows, I don't want to spoil anything, but it follows future characters. And there's the Golden Guard series, which I'm dying to read as well. So yeah, if you're into YA, the Air Awakens series, I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. So If you're more of an adult type of person, I'd recommend literally any of the mythology retellings that are adult. So Scarlet St. Clair's Hades and Persephone, or Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus. If you want a variety and you don't just want Hades and Persephone as your main, point of views, and main focus, then I would check out Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus. If you're really into Hades and Persephone, I would check out Scarlet St. Clair's, because you get like 3, 4, 5. I mean, if you count the Hades side, you get like 6 books. So the reason is because for new readers to fantasy romance, I feel like these, at least for adult, they're spicy, but they're not too weird. Like, we're not going full like monster romance. We're not going like alien romance. We're not going like really smutty, like almost lacking plot level of smut. We're not, these are like pretty tame in terms of like not being super taboo or dark. But they're like spicy, they're interesting, and a lot of people are into the mythology thing, so I feel like this is a good recommendation. As always, thank you guys for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and let me know if you do this tag, and tag me if you see it specifically from me, because I want to make friends and I want to know everybody's answers. So as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!